Yeah. It's your boy D Greatest from South Central, X Squad Radio Network, Gu'dio Radio, Gu'dio Entertainment, man. Live in the Gu'dio on your late night. On your late night. I got a special. Y'all don't even know, man, what's about to happen right now, man. This is Gu'dio Conversations, man, for real. Gu'dio Conversations. We live on Facebook, we live on YouTube. And I appreciate people that's tapping in, but I'm just finna have a sit-down conversation, a long awaited conversation with in my eyes, one of the greats from my high school, man, my teammate, my classmate. We've been in the trenches together, man, for a year, for some games, but it bonded us, man, for life, man. And I'm gonna bring him in right now, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only John Gonzales, man. For real.
Hey, dude.
The one and only John Gonzales.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Love you, man.
Love you too, brother.
Nothing but that purple love, baby.
Yes, sir.
Love.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna give a disclaimer. I got this coughing issue, so if you see me, coughing, whatever, I've been dealing with this stuff since November, man, because I caught COVID in November. I don't know what was in this last strand of COVID, but it did something to my respiratory, and I'm still trying to recover, so bear with me. But we're going to get through this, man. We're going to get through this. Ladies and gentlemen, John Gonzales.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We live, man. We live, man. How you been, brother?
I've been good, man. Just been, we newly opened up a franchise out in Culver City, and when you mentioned COVID, we kind of like everybody's just trying to bounce back from COVID from the standpoint of a lot of people are gone right now because of COVID, man, and then it really affected the work industry like nothing in the schools. So seems like we're getting back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, man, as you always say, I'm grinding. I'm trying to continue to keep everything moving.
Whoa. Hold up. My bad. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, we're here. Go ahead, finish. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. It's just just trying to get things are stabilizing now, I think, and I have my youngest is in college and she's playing out in North Carolina. My middle daughter just graduated last year, uh, actually this year, and then my oldest is a doctor right now. She's in the Air Force.
Cool.
So
All right, we
yes,
gonna go
sir.
down that road. We gonna be here for a minute. I got you comfortable, man. I've been waiting. I've been telling you this for the last probably 2 months.
Yep.
I say, John, we got to do an interview, man. I got an interview on my show, and you are my very first person that I actually interviewed on this platform. So I
Oh
appreciate you for
wow.
that. Yeah.
I'm honored, man. Anything for my guy. Yep.
Yeah, and we talked earlier a little bit to get you prepped for it, and you said you with it. What I mean? I said, I'm on your time. What I mean? He said,
Yeah.
hey, you gave me a time that was going to be done.
Yep.
And I said, just hit me up and say when you're ready, I fire it up, man. So, but yeah, and we here, man. We here.
We here. We doing it. We doing it.
Yeah, we here. And the purpose of this platform for me is to give my guys their roses while they here, man. You know what I mean? For
Yes,
real.
sir.
Like you said, COVID came and what's up, baby? COVID came and a lot of things. Like we lost a lot of people, doing the transition through that.
Yep.
And we see each other at funerals and all this stuff and this
Yeah,
and that.
man.
You know what I mean? This and that, and I just want to give my guys their roses, man, while we here, for real. So let's start in the beginning, man. Tell us where was you born? Where was you born, John? Give us the background.
I'm from South Central LA, man. So born and raised from South Central LA. I went to Butlong Elementary. and
But
then
long.
Butt Long. That's all. That's actually off of Butt Long, and right over there, like on 62nd or so.
Right, right, right.
And then next door to Butt Long was John Muir Junior High.
John Muir.
That's back when they had it junior high. You went to
Right.
elementary was kindergarten through
Sixth grade.
sixth grade, and then you
Uh-huh.
went over there on the seventh, eighth, and ninth,
Yeah.
and then of course when I went to Manual, it's 10th, 11th, and 12th. It was a few schools that started at the ninth grade. I think it was just Dorsey and Washington
Uh-huh.
that started at the ninth grade. So a lot of people that went to Audubon, you know, they ended at the eighth grade and then they just transitioned to Dorsey. But now South Central, man, grew up on 58th Street in Butlong
Hmm.
and was over there all the way through, of course, high school and even in college.
Right. Cool.
Yeah,
Parents, siblings, give us the background of that. You know what I mean?
yeah, man. My mom's, man, she's no longer with us.
Man.
She passed away in '92, man, and that was real tough.
Mm-hmm.
My
Rest
mom
in
was.
peace.
I
Mm.
appreciate that, man. She was at all our games, D. She was at all the games.
Right, right.
She actually came to my baseball and football games, and
Mm-hmm.
my pops, um, he passed away like 15 years ago,
Okay. Another
and
rest in peace.
yeah,
Salute.
appreciate it. He had Alzheimer's, man. It was a tough little deal there. He had it from
Right. You
like
was
his.
telling me
That
about
was
that.
that was
Yeah.
tough, man. I had to take care of him, and eventually I couldn't handle it, and I had to put him in a home. But I would
Mm-hmm.
go visit him and all of that, and it was tough, man, because he just went from knowing me to just not knowing me, and then it was rough, man. It's one of the most debilitating diseases I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
Yeah.
tough. He was in the military, and they did the military funeral for him, and
Mm-hmm.
my mom's uh back in like 76. It's just me and my sister, biological sister. When my mom's sister uh, passed away, uh, my mom's went back to New York and got all three of her kids, brought them out here to California and adopted them. And so I
Mm.
immediately went from having one sister to now having a total of two sisters and two
Yeah.
brothers. So it was cool, man. So two of them have transitioned as well. My oldest sister and then my middle brother passed away. So it's just really me and my biological sister and my oldest brother left. Um, of course, I'm married now. I got three kids,
Yes, sir.
and been in church for over 30 years.
Amen.
Appreciate you coming to see me at church, D.
Hey, you know
Appreciate,
what?
hey man,
That's
you can't.
funny that you
Yeah,
even brought that up because
yes, sir.
before when I was setting up, I remember and I said that probably was one of the proudest moments
Yeah,
to see you honoring God the way you was doing it.
yeah, man.
Because I seen you when we was young doing our
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
but to see you as a grown adult, and just praising God
yep.
and the church. I've been to that church before years ago, but you invited me and I came through and I had a great time. and I should have been back many more times, but I saw you,
Yeah.
I saw you doing your thing, man, for real.
That was man. I looked out and saw you, man. I was like, "There's D," and it was great. Since then, man, my pastor of 30 years passed away. He went on to be with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was one of the toughest things I ever had to deal with because he was
Mm-hmm.
spiritual father to me, man. And so I met him in my early 20s when I was, playing baseball with the Houston Astros,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
he was just instrumental in my spiritual growth, man. Without him, I'd be on a different trajectory, D.
Mm,
I was out there, man. While I was, you know, on that pursuit to play Major League Baseball, man, I was wilding out. I was acting a pure fool. So,
man.
it was a tough transition, So during that
You
time.
had a lot of, from what I'm hearing, you had a lot of people in your life that transitioned.
Yeah,
Moms, pops, your
yep,
pastor.
yep.
You know, I'm not even talking about homies and stuff and
Oh
coaches
man,
and all that stuff. We're gonna get
yeah,
to that.
yeah.
Let's go back though.
Okay.
Bud Long, Bud
Yeah,
Long,
yeah,
Bud
yeah.
Long, little John. You know what I
Oh
mean?
man,
Give
yeah,
us a rundown of how Little John was. You know, and Bud Long. You know, back in the day. You know,
yeah.
through kindergarten. Did you go there?
Oh man.
You went through the whole period,
N-
or did you go
n-
to different elementaries?
Two different elementaries. D. I went to the first elementary I went to was Saint Bernadette's. So that
Okay.
was the Catholic school over there up in off of Santa Rosalia, and I was there from the kindergarten to the third grade, and then actually the first kindergarten school I went to was Santa Barbara.
Santa
So
Barbara
so that's before
on King.
on King, but you remember King used to be Santa Barbara
Saint King
Boulevard.
was Santa Barbara back in the
Yeah.
day. Woo!
So I went there. I went there in kindergarten. Teacher's name was Miss Cushion. I'll never forget Miss Cushion, man. I stole like 10 cents off her desk and went and got some annihilators, and she followed me all the way home, man. I got a beating. Oh man, I got a whooping. Oh man, that's when whoopings was not outlawed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I I went to the third grade. The three first actually part of kindergarten to first, second, and third at actually I think it was just first, second, and third at St. Bernadette's, and then I went to
Uh-huh.
Butlong in the fourth grade.
Fourth
So
grade,
it's the
fourth
fourth,
grade,
fifth, and
fifth
sixth.
grade, sixth
Yeah.
grade. You
Then
graduated from Butler. How
graduated.
give people that, because we got people watching, they will watch. Give us a
Okay.
breakdown of your butt long, the atmosphere,
Oh,
the survival mode. Did you
man.
walk to school? Did
Walk
you,
to school.
you know what I mean? Come on,
Come
man.
on, man.
Take us through that process.
Walk to school with the peachy folders and yeah, man. Got there and just what was cool about Butlong. Mostly everybody from my neighborhood went there. My teacher's name was Mrs. Henry,
Uh-huh.
and some other people on my street. They was with Mrs. Cherry, and we was always talking about who was the finest. I was saying Miss Henry was finer than Miss Cherry, but Miss Henry, man, she was really into Black history back then, and
Yeah.
I never understood it back then, But I ended up having like another teacher named Miss Zero. There was a teacher named Mr. English, and yeah, but Butlong, man, was cool. You know what? Do you remember playing spoons, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, because we, we would get breakfast. We'd be playing spoons, trying to break
Spoons.
spoons.
Break the
Yeah,
spoons,
come on,
man.
man, come
Spoons
on.
and pencils.
Spoons, pencils,
Yeah.
get like me with
Get
nickels,
right,
dimes, and
right.
quarters.
It
Yeah,
seemed like
man.
in elementary they
Yeah.
had the best coffee cakes
Oh
ever.
man, you remember that, man?
I
But
know at our
no,
school, you know what I
no,
mean.
man.
But
I don't.
that was the whole LA City's Unified School District. We had coffee cakes that was just on point, man. You know
The
what I mean.
coffee cakes was good, but I don't think they outdid the cheese toast, man.
The cheese toast was
The
good,
cheese toast
all those square pieces.
or those rolls, those cinnamon rolls, man.
Right,
They had those cinnamon rolls, and
right.
yeah, but man, that was uh that was like a real time at school, man, where you really bonded, you really ate there,
Mm-hmm.
had your lunch. Was excited.
Recess.
Recess, you out there playing kickball,
Yeah,
softball,
sock ball. Hey,
you know.
I was talking to some people from the South
Okay.
through the podcast. They didn't know what sock ball was. I said
Oh, for real?
it was like kickball. You
Just
just sock the
sock the
ball.
ball. It
You
was
couldn't hit it on the
crazy.
ground. You just had to hit
Couldn't
it in
hit it
the
on the ground.
air.
Had to hit it in the air,
Yeah,
and it was a big rubber ball.
big rubber
And
ball, big red rubber
big
ball.
red rubber ball. You had to catch it
Yeah.
Yeah, Cats was, man, that was a crazy game, man. And
So,
Cats was doing stuff on the bars. You remember they be on the bars?
oh man, they put
Swi-
and then the females used to put their coats around the bars, and they used to spin around.
Oh yeah,
You
doing all that,
know,
man.
oh
And they
man,
used to
but
play what was it, tetherball? They used to be hitting the
yeah,
tetherball. Yeah,
tetherball,
that was crazy.
yeah.
Yep.
Females used to love playing tetherball. So, butt long. I'm gonna dig a little bit. You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
was you athletic in elementary, or did that come later on in junior high school towards high school, or was it in the neighborhood that groomed your passion for sports?
See, now you touched on. I was getting ready to say. I was just getting ready to say. Yeah, I started playing. You know, football. I learned how to play football in the streets. You know,
That's what we all
that's
did.
where we learned how to play it. And actually, that's how I knew how to do my multiplication with sevens.
The
Because
sevens.
like, what score? 7, 14, 21, 28. So you just going up. So you
Right.
just figure that out, right? But
Yeah.
realistically, um, my mom's, she plays softball. She was in the parks doing that. So we learned to play that when we were little. And then like in the fourth grade is when I started playing pony league at the Harvard Park.
In the fourth grade.
In the fourth grade is when I started playing
Wow.
baseball. I never played Pop Warner. I never played football. The first time I played football is when I got the manual arts,
That's
and
crazy.
that's crazy. But I played in the streets. Man, we was it was light pole, light pole.
Yes.
I learned how to run down and outs. I knew how to run shares. I knew how to run routes from the streets.
From the streets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
when we got to playing football, it was cool because I could deal with the terminology.
Right.
But baseball, yeah, man, I used to walk from my house all the way to Harvard Park. I mean, can you imagine this? A kid in the fourth grade.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how old I was in the fourth grade, but I'm walking all the way up to Normandy, all the way down to Dinker,
Mm.
all the way across to 60s and all of that. Man, it
Yeah.
was all kind of games
Fourth
over there.
grade. We wouldn't
Fourth
even let our
grade.
kids go to the store by themselves right now.
Oh man,
But when
that
we
ain't
was
happening.
young, we was out there, bro.
Oh, it was out there with no leash.
No lease. We
You,
was
you
out
you
there.
you just had to get back to the house before the lights came on.
But it was a different type of different era, of course,
Yeah,
and a different mutual respect for children. You know what I mean?
especially in sports though.
Yeah,
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 they they
yeah,
yeah, they let you play sports in my neighborhood. I mean,
yeah.
they was doing all kind of stuff, but
But what I'm trying to say is like
mhm,
the hood knew you
yeah,
and low key kept an eye on you and protect because the neighbors we protected each other.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Even though we was way down the street, for some reason we just had that protection of I could say God protected us, really, you know what I
oh,
mean?
one
Because
1,000,
we was out there just walking to school by ourselves. Man, I
yeah,
could count many times that I walked from, I went to 37th Street School, you know what I mean? And
okay,
we lived off of Normandy and Jefferson. So we
okay,
walked to school all the time, man, for
over there by
real.
SC, okay,
Yeah. SC was the
37 in Jefferson.
37. Yeah. If you
That's over there. You got the post office over there off
See
of
you're on
Vermont.
Vermont. That's Vermont. But
So
you gotta go more west. You gotta go more west.
okay,
Normandy and
okay,
Jefferson. And
okay,
that's right before Western and Jefferson. You know what I mean?
okay. Yeah, I
So
got you. I got you.
cause I went to Fauché. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
yeah.
So
Now everybody know what Fauché
yeah,
is
yeah,
off
yeah,
Exposition.
yeah. So man, fourth grade,
Yep.
you know, baseball.
Yeah, man. I went out for the team back then, man. Look, man, we grew up in my family. We grew up on welfare, so
Mm.
we had welfare, food stamps. Kids used to clown, so you had to
So
you had, you had to know how to bag. Oh man,
you
It was. Come on, man. You couldn't bang. You
So
had to be able to scrap.
so when I tell you,
Mhm.
see, it's different now. People got EBT cards and they can just chuck.
Yep.
But back in the day,
Yeah.
it was almost like fake money.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
And the
yeah,
change was plastic coins, different
yeah.
colors
I
that they
thought, but
gave
now
you.
wait, I thought they gave real change on exchange, but the dollars,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
dollar
yeah.
bill was brown,
Yeah,
the five was purple, the
yeah, yeah,
10
yeah,
was
yeah.
10, the 20 was green.
Right, right,
Oh yeah,
right,
man, we had the
right,
food
right,
we had the
right.
food stamps, man, and my mother would send us to the store to get stuff. We was embarrassed, boy. If I had some food stamps, man, I'd go right now to, I don't need them, but I'm just
Right,
saying I
right,
would never
right.
be embarrassed to get some food. But
Yeah,
back then, cats would
you would get.
they talk about you, man.
They talk about you for real.
But if we didn't have that system, we would have been homeless
Oh
probably.
yeah,
So
oh yeah,
so I thank God for my
man.
upbringing.
Let
Yep.
me give a couple of shout outs, man. I got my boy X Man and my boy Chief Rocker Jersey Vern tuning in. My boy DJ Chuck. We got Miss Cotton. What's up? What's up, sis? She's off in here. Juanita Richards is off in here. And we got our classmate, Miss Regina Farmer, tuned in.
Oh,
Yeah,
Regina,
class of
Regina,
86 in the
yay,
building.
yay, yay, yay.
Yeah, Regina. I hope Hey, what's going? She's done in the south, so it's kind of late. It's going on like around what time is it out here?
It's
It's
10:20 out there. Could be 11:20
could be
though.
going on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was your introduction to organized sports,
Yep,
pretty much.
yep.
What
Uh,
position did you play? Do you remember the position they had you in at fourth
yeah,
grade?
yeah. At first they put me at third base. Okay, I'm on the hot
Ooh.
corner. I'm doing good until I didn't feel one of those balls, and I saw how I felt. I said, I'm out. I'm
Yeah,
gone.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man. I got to go to the outfield,
Right, right, right,
and
right.
and I went to the outfield. And naturally, man, because of playing football, I could just track down stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I always had a strong arm. I didn't know how strong, but I knew I could, play. So I was pretty good outfielder,
Mm-hmm.
So my coach's name was Mr. Taylor, man, and he was a good guy. So I played for him for the Padres for like every year except one year when he stopped coaching, and that was the eighth grade. So I went from the fourth grade to the eighth grade
Right.
at the park,
Okay.
and
Okay. So
that was that was
that was your
cool.
part.
That was my
That.
park, man. And look, it's just crazy that Manual Arts that would be our home field, man.
Oh,
That was
okay.
our home field.
Okay.
I was like,
Okay.
oh my God, look at this. I knew that park like the back of my hand.
Back in your hand. Back in your
Yeah,
hand.
yeah. So
So,
that was phenomenal.
Bud Long, fourth grade,
Yep.
fifth grade, sixth grade. Give us some shout out some people from Bud Long that you grew up with, played ball with, or just some of your close friends that you remember that transitioned over to. You said you went to Bud Long. You went to John Muir after that.
Yeah, I went to John Muir after that. So like,
Okay.
man, people that I knew from back there, man, and I played with against them. Anthony Glover, we called him Tony. He
Mm-hmm.
played. He went to Crenshaw. Now Anthony,
I remember that
Tony,
dude. Yeah.
yeah, he played. He actually he was the defensive end for Crenshaw. He actually dislocated Steve Broussard's
I
shoulder in the
remember that.
game.
I
Yeah,
remember that. He was yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
he was pretty good, but uh, you know, Bruiser had issues with his shoulder. It wasn't like he did, but
Right, right,
he
right,
was
right.
involved in that play.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't nobody like Steve Broussard.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
We gonna
Steve
talk
was
about
some.
that.
Yeah,
We gonna
he's
talk
some kind
about
of
that.
athlete. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, man. I remember people that I can remember my one of my best friends. His name is Steve Hall. He ended up going to Dorsey, and he went to Audubon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, People that I mean, like I just have to like you talking about way back there, but I
Yeah.
tell you, I remember Sherry Richardson.
Right.
Um,
Sherry
yeah,
Richardson.
yeah, man.
Let me tell you about Sherry Richardson. Sherry Richardson is uh, the aunt of my cousin.
Okay.
Cause Sherry brother is Petey.
Petey.
Remember Petey?
Yeah, Petey was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So my cousin and Petey, they had a child. You know what I mean? And was for my young cousin Nate. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's small
Yeah.
world. Small
Yeah.
world.
Yeah. Yeah. But like though, it's people I can't remember. I'm gonna tell you.
Well, I don't expect you to remember all these people. I'm
Yeah,
just
but on the disclaimer, I'm starting to get AARP mail, bro. So so man,
yeah.
but nah, man, a lot of the people we all went to manual arts.
Well,
And,
before we go to manual,
excuse me, we all I threw manual. We all went to
John
John Muir Junior
John Muir.
High.
Talk about John Muir.
Oh man, John Muir was cool, man. Uh, I was like really nervous about that school, man, because I was
Why?
like, man, because they had classes back then. They had like home ec classes, and they put me in. We had to be in there cooking. I was like, I don't want to be there. They had choir classes you had to be in. They was really trying to do stuff back then.
Right,
So
right.
I was like, man, this is kind of crazy. I was thinking, you know, it's gonna be, math, English, but what they did have, they had the shop metal classes and the
Okay.
wood classes, and I
Okay.
like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the car, and auto body and
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
autos, so there's some good stuff in there, so but they had typing. I did not like typing, man. I was just like,
Oh, I couldn't stand
they
typing.
was really trying to prepare us. If I man, if you think back now, I was resistant to that, but they were really
Mm-hmm.
trying to prepare us, man. And I didn't
Yeah.
subscribe to that. I was just like, when we gonna play basketball? When we gonna play
Yeah.
soccer ball?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When we gonna, and that was big when your Lakers was just killing it in the '80s. So I
Yeah.
was like, eesh.
When you
So
was at John Muir,
yeah,
because I'm still thinking about Bud Long, the fourth grader playing ball,
yeah,
baseball.
yeah.
You
We froze up, D. You froze up. I don't know what to
still
do.
part. Okay, we good. We good. We good. You back.
Okay. Yep.
You
You
froze up on me
froze
for a
up.
minute.
Okay.
So
We froze up again.
you back?
It keep freezing up. What can I do?
Let me see.
You there?
All right, we back. We back. Bring John back again. We back, John.
There we
Hopefully we
go.
good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. I didn't have to refresh. We still rolling. We probably
Okay.
lost some people, but they can come back and listen and watch this. So what I was trying to get at as the young junior high school John Muir John, you know, playing baseball at the park, seventh
Yep.
grade, eighth grade, ninth grade. When did you feel like, okay, this sport is I'm about to own this sport? You know,
Actually,
you have
D
football,
got
baseball. Tell me
let me
about
take
that.
that was a strange transition, man, because you bringing it back and I'm getting it. So
Okay.
here's what happened. I go to John Muir. I'm cool. I remember the seventh grade, great. Eighth grade, okay.
Hmm.
Ninth grade, it was kicking, man. That's when I met Huck. Okay, so
Okay.
I met Huck in the eighth grade, in the ninth grade, and and Tony Glover went there. I mean, a lot of athletes went there, man, and we knew each other playing baseball, but they were always talking about football.
Hmm.
And I was like, man, maybe I want to try out with this stuff. And that's when Spence and Hollis came from Manual
Hmm.
to our school. And
Mm.
it was like they had a special where they came in and talked to you and told you to come to Manual Arts. And you remember Buddy? You remember Buddy that
Buddy.
played with Steve Broussard?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
Oh
Fullback.
man, fullback. Buddy went to John Muir. He was ahead of me 1 year, so it was people ahead of me. And then when they were gone, we kind of like became, popular up there.
Yeah.
So Katrina Granger, you know,
Katrina. Yeah.
Stephanie Harris, Aki. I mean, everybody went to John
Yeah.
Muir, man. It was
John
it was
Muir.
man Herman.
Rest
Uh,
in peace.
rest
Man.
in peace, man. Um, Victor Short.
Victor Short.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tyrese.
Did Tyrese go to John Muir too?
He went to John Muir too. All of us went to John Muir, man. It was crazy. So what happened is that Huck, Tony, Glover, all of them was always talking about football. So then I decided I was gonna try out for football. So that 1 year that
This
my
is this
coach,
this this ninth grade?
this ninth grade,
Okay.
my coach didn't coach the ninth grade. I was on another team in the eighth grade. So when he didn't coach the ninth grade, I just didn't play baseball. I was like, I'm cool. I'll just play in high
Yeah.
school. And so I just got turned on to football, man. And that's when I tried out in the 10th grade for the Bees. Never played football in my life.
Mm.
And I'm trying out for the team, all of that. I'm on the team for a little while. I'm like, nah, man, this ain't for me. I'm gone. Nah,
Right,
I
right,
could, I,
right.
I, I bounced. So I left, quit. That's what I did. I quit and
Mm-hmm.
said, I'm just gonna focus on baseball. But to be honest with you, man, that's when I tried out for baseball, and I did not know that my skill set was that good like that because I was
Mm-hmm.
I was killing it. Engelman was the varsity coach, and they didn't let us try out because
Okay.
we were freshmen. I was
So
like,
now you transition over to manual.
I'm transitioning to man because really at the ninth grade it was just they was all playing football and talking about it. I was just
Yeah.
like, and they was way out on basketball. Everybody was talking about basketball, and I was like, man, I can't play no basketball. I mean, I played in the streets, but not like that.
Yeah.
You remember we did play the basketball team in high school. We
Right, right,
we, we
right.
went at the basketball team, but as far as this path, really the excitement from the ninth grade propelled me for the 10th grade. And that's when I just went at it. But when football didn't work out the way I wanted it to, I tried out for baseball and I was on the JV team, I want to say for 5 games. And then they called me up to the varsity
Mm.
in Engelman. And you're not going to believe this, man. You remember how the Wave used to put us in everybody knew about the Wave. The Wave came out on Thursdays.
The Wave. Oh
And
yeah, the
the
Wave. The
Wave, the
newspaper. The
Wave
Wave. Yeah, yeah,
paper,
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
newspaper,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So the
yeah.
Wave came out.
Came
We
out on
was always
Thursdays.
on Thursday. We looking for our names and all that. But what happened was, um, I was on the like the big page of the Times. They put me out on the Times paper,
The LA Times.
in the sport LA Times in the baseball section, and it was a dude on our team in baseball named Sylvester Walker.
Mm-hmm.
He was hot as fish grease because I came in the locker room and they were screaming, getting mad, and this dude come up here, he ain't been here. I mean, I'm like, what happened? They're like, you didn't see your name? I was like, nah, they got a picture of you and you in the paper. You picked off the dude from Fremont. And I was like, what? Yeah,
What
I was
grade
in the
was this? What
paper.
grade was this?
This was 10th grade.
10th grade. Okay, cool. We still 10th grade. Okay, cool, cool.
10th grade, man. I'm just like, it's crazy. And so Engelman brought me up, but he brought me up as a pitcher.
So Engelman he coached baseball too?
He was coaching baseball, varsity baseball. And so I just was like, and Spence was down on the JVs. And so yeah.
Okay.
And so the reason that Spence got the job is when Engelman left, and then
It makes
Hollis
sense.
Hollis got the football, Spence got the baseball.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes
So-
sense. Wow.
So
I got a story behind that too.
I'm gonna turn the heater off.
No, do your thing. Do your thing. You good.
So what happened is that I try out, and Engelman want me to pitch. So I'm in the papers. I'm striking out 10, 11 people per game, man. I'm killing them. And that's when I knew that I was real good from the standpoint, because I pitched in Pony League, and Spence, the few games I was on the varsity, I mean the JV, Spence had me pitching down there. I was doing well too. So Engelman said, you know how it was in high school, man.
Right.
Somebody was ineligible. So
Man,
they
all the
had
time.
to bring me up. They had to
Yeah.
bring me up. And I was able to make an impression, man. But that was just more so they had me as a pitcher. And Odell Sneed was on the team.
Odell Sneed.
Jeff Joseph stopped playing because he was just so good at football. Remember,
Well, he was a good baseball player too.
He was real good, and he stopped playing. And then Broussard didn't play. The only ones that was left down there was Kevin Dandridge, Ernest Wheeler.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace for Kevin.
You know what I found out? Hold that thought. Ernest.
Okay. Yeah.
In school,
He's my captain.
he played football and he played baseball, right?
I didn't know he played football.
He played football. I remember he had the jersey, Wheeler, boom, boom, boom. Do you know
Okay.
years later,
Okay.
that's my cousin.
What?
I didn't
Y'all
find out
related?
till we got older. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I said, don't you know, if I would have knew you was my cousin, but I would have been in. I would have been in.
He was big.
Because he was older
big
than
up
us.
there.
You know what I mean?
He was older than us.
Like
Yeah,
two,
they was
like
ahead
2
of us.
years?
2 years. They were older than us. 2 years.
Yeah, Ernest Wheeler is my cousin, bro.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. So Ernest, Terrell Patterson, who else was? Man, I can't think of. These dudes was just. They was all. They didn't let me. Have the props in baseball. I had to fight to be out there. So.
I'd pay your
So
dues.
then, Engelman had me sacrificing, man. So basically, he had me bunting, but down on the JV, I'm out there battling with Reggie Laudermill for home runs and Huck for home runs. We battling it.
Yeah.
And so then eventually they brought Huck up, and Huck was pitching too. And you know, it was a memorable 10th grade from baseball, but not for me for football. And I felt bad because I quit in football. That never settled well with me, man. We just didn't come from
Okay.
we didn't quit. We didn't do stuff like that.
Let me help me out. Help me, because
Okay.
I didn't go to Manual the first week of school. I wasn't
Okay.
even trying to go to Manual. I was trying to go to LA High. I
Oh
practiced
wow.
all summer at LA High School,
Okay.
for the Bees.
Okay.
And the first game that LA High played was at Manual. So not knowing that I need my mom to go to LA High with some backstory to all this, man. But I went to LA High just by myself thinking I'm going to check my own self in school. They were like, no, your home school is Manual Arts. So I missed a whole week of school.
Wow.
Missed a whole week of school. So the
Because
first,
because by districts where you live, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Not knowing. And to make a longer story short, when I graduated from Fauché,
Mhm.
we went straight up to Dorsey. And I got on a waiting list for Dorsey, and they never called. Go figure. I never was trying to go to Manual Arts. I remember at Fauché, because what you said when Spencer and them came up
Yeah.
to John Muir, Ingham and
Yeah.
them came up to Fauché.
Oh,
And
really?
and at Fauché, I played basketball. Was like a challenge, but we played basketball. Football to me around that time
Yeah.
was natural, but I always was the quarterback on the campus because we played football at lunchtime, and
Okay.
I could throw the
Yeah,
ball like
we
far.
did too. We did too.
So when Engelman and them came up to Fauché, they was like I said, they was looking for players. This was at lunchtime. They was like, oh, that dude over there, he can throw the ball. And I was like, man, I'm not going to Manual. I'm going to Fairfax. So my cousin went to Fairfax. I'm not going to Fairfax. You
Man,
know,
you say Fairfax, I got nightmares about them. Man.
I was doing
Ooh.
I was doing everything not to go to Manual. You know what I mean? So that's crazy. I had to add that in there while you was telling that because it brought
So
back
you can
memories
so you
of
came to you
and
came to Manual on a humbug almost, man.
on a humbug. So after the first week, I went to, you know how you get your classes? I went to the magnet program. I went to the PE class. So I want to play ball. Spence and Hollis didn't let me on the team. They say, no, we already got a squad.
What?
And I
I
regret that to
never
this
knew
very,
this.
I should have fought. I should have said, I don't care. I still want to play. I should have fought my way to get on that B. Was you on that B squad in the 10th grade?
I told you I bounced.
You bounced.
They had a
Okay.
good
They
squad.
had a great squad. Fonzo and them was on that team. They had a great squad.
Yeah.
And I wanted to play, but I couldn't. I didn't. They told me I could play. I was like, all right, whatever. Cool. Because I missed
I
all the spring
now
training and all that stuff too. But
now
go ahead, man.
I
It ain't
went
about me. It's about you.
no. It's about us. You crazy? It's about
That's
us.
right. That's right.
So the thing is that the next year, the 11th grade year, I did go out for the bees, and
Mm-hmm.
I did remember all the plays. Because I told you I just quit. I turned my gear in and quit.
Did Hug
But
play in
this
that
time,
10th? Did Hug was he on that 10th grade team?
no.
He
Huck,
didn't.
Huck was playing basketball. He didn't play,
Okay. Okay.
but he played the 11th grade. Huck should have probably been on varsity his 11th grade because Huck played in all the way from Pee Wee and all that. He
Yeah.
played against Pop Warner. They was going at it.
Football was his thing.
So
Yeah.
it was his thing, man. And so um, Huck took me under his wing. Man, I didn't even know how to put the pads in the pants. I didn't know how to do none of that. I'm like, what is going on here?
That's
So
funny.
yeah, so we was playing one game.
This is 11th grade.
This 11th grade. I'll never forget it. And I'm gonna tell you who we playing, so you know I'm mad. We playing San Fernando. We playing the bees, and I had to run a 6. You remember the 6
What was it? I can't remember
was
the six.
okay. The 6. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, so it was kind of like you going up, you post in like a 9, and then you cut back to the corner.
Got you.
You know what I'm talking about? So it's
Yeah.
up, cut in for 5 to 7 yards, and then go back at the angle towards the sidelines, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I ran it opposite.
Oh.
You understand? I came up, instead of cutting in, I cut out. I
Mm.
went this way, and I went that way. I'm running down this thing like I done ran the wrong route.
Wrong route.
Hollis was hollering at me. He was so mad, and Huck went to bat for me. And Huck told him, no, he ran the route. He didn't know it. Da, da, da. I made
Mm-hmm.
sure from that point on that I never did not know. I never missed a route from that
Yeah.
point. That made me. We lost the game because of me. I would have
Mm.
been wide open. We lost that game by 7 points.
Mm.
I mean, I don't think we'd have went for 2, but it was my fault.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that was bad. But Huck defended me, so I appreciated that. So that's how, you know, the football came. And then when Engelman left,
Mm.
Spence and Hollis inherited
They
the
did.
football team.
They
So
did.
I knew all the plays, and then
You knew their style.
I knew everything. And then in my 11th grade year, that year that we was playing well with the bees, um, Spence took over the varsity baseball because Engelman had left
Mm.
during that time.
Mm-hmm.
So we was playing varsity baseball, and man, I had a tremendous year in baseball. I mean, I was all everything. I was killing it. Home runs. Uh, I'm hitting it out of Lock High, Inglewood. I'm just smoking balls. I had no idea I could hit like that, and it
Right.
just
Right.
came
Right.
from Spence.
Right.
Spence worked with us. So during the
Mm-hmm.
spring, Spence had us out on the bars doing
Oh.
pull-ups and stuff
Oh.
like.
Lord Jesus.
Oh man, you remember that? Oh my
He had us
God.
doing 21s on the
Oh, 20
bars.
on the bars, man. For the front of the pull-ups, the reverse pull-ups.
Yes.
Oh, Spence had us right.
He
We
would have you at
running.
night at home crying because your
Oh
body
man,
was
come on, man.
so sore from those bars. Yeah.
I should have took Advil or something back then. But
Mm-hmm.
Spence had me so right, man. So I remember we were talking about it briefly. So Spence corded off the football field so we could practice because we didn't have no practice. So we was
Mm-hmm.
out there, just practicing, getting ready, just man, hungry. And man, we was so ready. That 11th grade year, we went all the way. We were 2 games away from Dodger Stadium. I'll never forget that in my
Mm.
life. I'm haunted by it. I'm
Mm.
haunted by it. I just think about that. We was just 2 games away from Dodger Stadium. So
Who
we was
did
real
y'all
good, man.
who did y'all lose to? Do you remember?
We lost to Venice, man. 8-7.
Wow.
8-7. Huck, they had me, Huck, and Kevin in the papers on it. They were like under well we were under we were underdogs. Underdogs. Manual Arts High gives Venice a run for their money. That's what like the title was. I had like 2
Mm.
doubles. The last at bat I hit a ball almost out at right field, right center. It was just inches away from me, and I ended up being on second base and the game ended 8-7 in the top of the
Dang.
8th. I top of the 7th, and I was just and they went on and went to Dodger Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
They went on
That's
and went to Dodger
crazy.
Stadium. They ended up beating LA High the next game, and Doyle Balthazar played on that team, and he was a nemesis, but he ended up being a real good friend. He was just a great competitor, man. He signed and played pro ball as well, and then man, it just 12th grade was different. It was all about us in football. I wasn't even thinking about baseball like that. I was
So,
thinking about football.
because we used to see you guys leave, and I never know,
Yep.
like, where do they play? I don't know where the fuck they play. They just always leaving and coming back, and either y'all was cheering
On
because
the
y'all
bus.
won, and
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
I never knew where do our school play their baseball game. We got to baseball team, but where do they play? I'm like, I never knew. You know what I mean? It's
Harvard
crazy
Park.
because that 11th grade year. So I'm gonna take you down back memory lane. My frustrations with my high school athletic career. So Spencer didn't let me get on the squad, so I didn't play the. I didn't play 10th grade year. So that the whole year is gone. Whole year is gone, right?
Yep.
And that year, our varsity team won the championship. They won undefeated.
They won it.
Undefeated. Yeah, they beat
Lock.
no, that was the next year.
Okay.
Our 10th grade year, they beat, I think it was Wilson.
Yes,
at
it
the
was.
Coliseum.
No, you're right. It was Wilson.
Blue. Look at Al. What's up, Al? Big time coach Al. What's going on, Al? Do you remember Al?
Fella.
Alexander.
Alex, his name is Fella. We grew up in the street.
Oh, Fella. Oh, I didn't know.
No, ask him. Tell him I said Fella.
Fella. What's up? He see you. He hear you. He can hear you. He watch you. So hey, say something to him if you want to. You know what I mean?
What's up, Fella? I see you out there. I see you out there doing big things with. Look at the coach making people ready for the next level. I see you out there doing your thing, man.
That's crazy how from our tree. Yeah, he said Fella.
Yeah.
We grew up in
the same neighborhood.
Yeah. So
yeah.
That 11, so they won the championship. So with Jeff and them and all those D1 cats coming out of that off of that squad, right?
That was a scary squad, man.
So the next the spring, I'm like, I'm going out. You know what I mean? And they had me, the position they had me, John, was they had me at linebacker.
What?
Can't tell you why. They had me at linebacker, and they had me backing up Steve at running back. I don't know if they had me at full or a tail, but I was backing up. But then Herman came.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, this dude is a beast.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to switch my spot. And at that in 11th grade year,
yeah.
And that was Ingram in last year.
Yeah.
You know, him and Landris.
Tom Landris. No. I don't think his name was Landris. I don't think it was Tom. It was
Landris.
I can't think of his first name.
His last name was Landris.
I remember. Yeah.
That summer we was in the Crenshaw passing league.
Oh yeah.
And this one I knew was real, bro. Manual arts, and Al can contest to this, you can contest to this, but those squads,
yeah,
they stress weightlifting.
Oh yeah, man.
You had to get in the weight room. You had to bench 225 or the 350 club. They had you want your name up on the thing. You know what I mean?
I was never in none of those clubs,
bruh. I struggled. I got 250, but I struggled with that. I wasn't a weightlifter at all.
No, I got the 225. That's about it.
And this is and the reason why Engelman and Landris, because when we went, it was all about strength, and we're gonna intimidate you off the top of how we look. So when we went to the Crenshaw Passing League to play Crenshaw and the other squads, they told us, the coaches, Engelman, take your shirts off. We took our shirts because we wanted to yes, they take your shirts off. So we was out there just our shirts, letting them know like we came to. Man, it was crazy. It was crazy. I end up now. Let me go back. So the 10th grade. I got a fail in the second semester. So back in the day, you get a fail, they automatic. It made you ineligible for the next year.
And you had you could balance it out. You just had to balance it out.
Listen, I got done dirty. I got a fail. I went to summer school to make up that fail. But I couldn't, for some reason, maybe I did not know. Nobody told me, but I thought I wasn't eligible, so I couldn't play on that 11th grade. When I was in 11th grade, I couldn't play on that squad that went to the Coliseum with Calbone and Steve and so I missed
man.
2 years, bro. 2 years.
You know, Mick Calbone, we grew up in the same hood
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
He was in my neighborhood.
Yeah, so practicing with Calbone after they won it, so we came back. This going to the 12th grade year. You know, that's when they had me at wide receiver and DB. But for some reason, Calbone, I always can catch his pass. He was one of the hardest throwers and had the prettiest spiral ever.
Oh man!
And you said a good thing. You have to know your routes, and I knew my routes. I knew my routes. But let's go back. Let's go back to 11th grade with you. Come on.
Yep. So, but the 11th grade, you know, that's when I really fell in love with football, man, because I really learned, really, man, they, they, man, we had a squad, man, that was just really taught right. And man, you imagine those, the hell weeks that we went to, and they weren't giving us no water. We could have died. I mean, you was getting no water. They weren't giving us no water breaks. But we was in shape, man. It was just ridiculous how in shape we were. And when I took that into baseball, I was a superior athlete, man. And with it coupled with knowing how to play the game, I was killing them. I mean, Spence was just in awe. Man, I was hitting home runs, man. That was just in baseball we call them tape shots. I'm just hitting 400-foot shots. If it had a fence, it's over it. If it didn't, you running for a long time to catch it. I'm just running around the bases. So, but you know, the football aspect of it was great. So Engelman leaves during that time. Spence inherits the baseball team, and
the football
you know,
team.
Hollis inherits the football team.
Oh yeah. Because Spence had the defense.
Yeah, Spence had the defense, but they was just co-equals. You know how they ran it. So
in the 11th grade year, 11. When did the scouts start like, hey, this young dude over here is making some noise?
It's funny you say that. So we was at Harvard Park. I can't remember who we was playing. This gentleman, Caucasian individuals, sitting down, and you could tell he wasn't supposed to be there. You know what I mean?
Out of place.
He looked out of place, but he's got his card. He's writing stuff down, and I wasn't paying no attention like that, man. I was focused in the game. I probably went like 3 for 4, had 2 home runs, and threw somebody out from the outfield, trying to tag up on me. He waited to after the game. I saw him talking to my mother. I didn't know what they was talking about. I had no idea he was a scout for the Houston Astros. So after the game, introduced me, handed me an envelope with his card in it. His name was Doug Deutsch. His name was William, but they called him Doug Deutsch. And we got on the bus to come back from the game. We won the game. Everybody like, open it up, John, open it up. I opened it up. I was like, my God, it's from the Astros. We just screaming. Everybody's screaming. We going, you know, we ain't got no seat belts. We acting a fool on the bus.
Right.
All my boys, Huck, everybody is so happy for me. And because, you know, Huck just was better at football. He was just going to go somewhere in football. And everybody was just happy. Kevin Dandridge, all of us, DeAndre McVeigh, everybody was just elated, man. James Bledsoe, it was crazy. And so that scout followed me from high school through college, and he would eventually sign me to play for the Houston Astros.
Man, that's a
And so he
blessing.
got
Yeah.
he stayed with me. He was just like,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's what
sir.
I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So
So,
that was phenomenal, man, to be able to play for them, and then to go up, my first year when I report to spring training, I see people like Kenny Lofton. I'm on the field with Luis Gonzalez. You know, back then it was Jeff Bagwell had just came over from the Boston Red Sox. He just got
right.
traded. So I was scheduled to be in A ball, but in spring training, we all played together. So
Oh,
everybody, so they think you're going to be in A ball, double A, triple A, major leagues, but you're all competing. So I'm just like, okay,
yeah.
let's go at it.
But hold
So it
up,
was
hold up, hold up.
phenomenal.
You
Yeah.
you you
Yeah.
you you jumped. We kind of jumped the timeline
Okay.
because
My bad. My
we
bad.
in 11th grade.
Yep. Yep.
But then
Yep.
now, like I told you
You
earlier,
asked, did somebody see me? He saw me.
yeah,
He
okay.
came
We
out to
gonna
see me in
so
11th grade.
we gonna get to that because I do want to know
Yep.
about that because I believe you told me that story. I think we was at the mall. You told me that story too. 11th grade. Now we
Yep.
transition to the 12th grade. We seniors now.
Seniors.
1985. 1985.
85, 86, running to school.
And that matter of fact, 85, that spring, we was doing spring training, whatever, because we had to do that before the summertime came
Yep.
through. And I remember, and I don't know, was the season. I told you this earlier today. I said the season was over, and you and Huck in your baseball uniforms ran on the field. We was out there practicing. Y'all was already, because y'all already knew the plays, because that was how
Yep.
the squad. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
Yep.
y'all just fit right in. You know what I mean? And the summer came, and we was doing 2-a-days.
Oh man.
And
Oh,
number 2
yep.
was our quarterback.
I was
You
the
know what I mean?
quarterback.
He was
And
our
guess who
quarterback.
and guess whose idea this was? I never told you this.
Tell us the story.
Oh my God. So we playing on the JVs. I'm taller than Huck. And Huck is like, man, I really should be a wide receiver. And then he's like, I seen you play catch with Cowbone because we Cowbone we played in the streets together. So I learned how to throw
Yeah,
from
yeah,
him.
yeah.
So I could always throw whether it was a football or a baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Huck went and lobbied Spence and Hollis with this idea that I
Mm-hmm.
would be a good quarterback only for the purpose so he could go to receiver.
Right,
Like,
right,
come
right.
on, man. But I didn't know Huck wanted to play receiver, man. So I said, yeah, I could do it, but I never played quarterback organized before.
Right.
So, but I was learning, you know,
Let me
all
give
through
you
the spring. Yeah, go
let,
ahead.
let me give you backstory on that. So
Okay.
during the spring, when you
Yep.
guys was still playing baseball,
Okay.
it was Dennis,
Yep.
it was somebody else.
Desmond.
No,
I
it
was
was
going up against I was going up
listen,
against Desmond.
this is before y'all even was practicing with us, bro.
Okay.
Cause y'all was in baseball
We was playing
mode.
baseball. Yeah, yeah.
So we was out there doing our thing. Dennis, it was somebody, I can't think of the other person, and myself. I told me, because like I said, remember at Fauché,
Hmm.
I was always throwing the ball. I had quarterback mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But coming to Manual, well, when I was going to LA, I was going to play. I always wanted to be a running back. You know what I mean? But in the streets, we played other streets, and we played at school. I was playing quarterback. So my senior year, I was like, "F that! I'm finna go for quarterback." So I
What?
remember Hollis had us on our knee, on that one knee, throwing, boom,
Throwing. Yep.
boom. And Dennis had an arm. He was young, had an arm,
No, he could throw.
and I had an arm. You know, I think Dennis had a stronger arm than me. You know what I mean? Because he had bigger hands. I've learned if you got small hands, it's going to be very difficult for you to
Grip that ball.
grip the ball if the ball is too big. Excuse me. Did a couple of practice, and I told myself I didn't, and I regret it. I still regret it. I don't want to learn all these plays. I don't want to be responsible for learning all these plays. So I said, you know what? I got with Rob and Spence. I said, excuse me, I'm gonna play either wide receiver and DB. My main position was defensive back. So I let it go. So moving forward, you came along, you and Huck, you know what I mean? And they had you damn near penciled in at quarterback.
I mean, and never played it. Huck was he was all everything the year before on the JV. And he just, I mean, man, it was crazy. And I'm gonna tell you how karma is, so they say. So we practicing, we killing it in passing league.
Ooh.
I'm killing it. I'm throwing in passing league. I'm killing it there.
Yeah. I was playing wide receiver too. It was killing me.
Playing wide receiver. So then we have our first game against San Fernando. Remember I told you that team that at night, you know, Hollis mad at us because we all got the curls.
Y'all had those curls.
And, you know, we had the curls and the activator running in our face. He was like, you know, he cussing us out, saying he going off on me, Doyle, and Huck because we said the activator getting the eyes burning. He said, I don't care. You should have had cut them things off your head. So
bro,
we
that first game, man.
Oh, come on, man. Herman, listen, the first play.
Hold up. Think about that first play. First, this is my first time I saw my name in the wave. You talk about the wave. I looked at the preseason predictions. I saw my name, and me and a couple of us. But I saw my name in the paper. I was like, oh snap! I'm like, I ain't played a single down in 3 years. But they had my name in the paper because I practiced my ass off, man. I was under the tutelage of
Al said he played center. Al said he played center that year.
I was balling. We had a young squad. It was almost a rebuilding year for us. So because those other two teams, they won back to back. So we had a target on our backs, bro. We had a target on our backs,
bro. They had expectations.
And the thing about it, we could have won it if we had the people eligible. We had a squad. We had Carlos. We had all other kind of dudes that was ineligible. They didn't make the grade. So now we had a lot of a lot of 10th graders.
You remember Emmanuel? Oh,
Kendall.
Yeah. Kendall.
They was ineligible, man. So we had to put in a whole lot of freshmen, 10th graders, man. People didn't know that.
No, D. We had to go both ways.
We did have to go both ways. But some of those players, Al, put in the chat room. I think Al was in the 10th grade. We had Beef. We had Blue. Those dudes was young.
Blue. Oh yeah, they was young. They were. They was
big, man. But they was young though. They was young.
They were green. Yeah, Mike punting. Mike Scott.
Yep.
He actually played baseball too. We played baseball together.
Mike was the punter, and I was Spence. Hollis had me as the backup punter. He had me backup punter. He had me backup returner, and I remember in practice. I went to return the ball, and the ball went through my hands, and it hit me in my nuts. Boom! And I dropped the ball. And he's like, "Boy, get up out of there!" He got mad at me. I said, "All right, cool. I couldn't do it." But that San Fernando game, bro, in my head. So I want you to think about that first play he was talking about. In my head, I'm thinking like we was on the bus and we got there. I'm thinking like I made it. You know what I mean? I finally made it. And I remember I got on the field because my family was there, and I'm looking around like the lights. I'm like, I couldn't believe, like, I'm actually on the field. It's finna go down. It's finna go down. It's finna go
That
down.
I
But go
knew.
ahead. Go ahead with that first play you
Now,
was about to talk about.
so we come out of the tunnel, and they looking at us, and man, we from Manuel We it's no. I don't even know how small I am. I'm 5'11".
Bruh.
I'm a buck 65. I don't recognize my size. I'm going at you. I don't care who you are, right?
Bruh.
That's our mentality.
You was.
And and, and I could see the fear, in some of the players' eyes. And I was like, oh, this ain't gonna go well because you're supposed to be blocking for me. When we get out there, and I'm like, and so when we get in the huddle, he called T8.
I can't. You remember that?
Yeah, he called T8 dive at 1. It was either dive at 1 or dive at 3, something like that. They was gonna give it to Herman. I turned around to give Herman the ball and got sacked.
Boom.
And they going crazy. And I got up, I said, what happened? And we get in the huddle, and Herman said, y'all not blocking. This not Herman can see everything. I can't see it. Because I turned my back. So I turned my back to give it to him. So we run another one the opposite way, T7, dive at 2, whatever it was. We went to even number, a little bit of yards. Hollis called screen right after that. I get up to the line. I take 3 steps back, and it's like the whole team was on me, and I just flicked it to Herman. And Herman took off, got about 7, 8 yards. That let me know right then and there, it's going to be a long night. They're not blocking. It was crazy. And there was plays where they wanted me to run. And I was saying, are you?
Oh, man, you froze up. What's going on? Ah, nah. Oh, man, he was in the middle of the story. Dang.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. Okay, you back now. Yeah, okay. You back.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. They didn't block, and I just remember going in at halftime, and Spence looked over and said, "He's through." And they said, "Put Huck back in the quarterback." And I remember coming to the huddle. I'm just being honest with you, and I'm looking at Huck. He was hot as fish grease. He hot, and so I said, "Hey, man, I know the play. I'm gonna stay and block for you because these cats are gonna come for you. These cats are coming for you." So I was supposed to be running it was 64. So I'm running a kind of like the back end of a down and out where we go up, cut in, and cut back to the sideline. I stayed in and blocked. I stayed in block, and from that point on, I never went. I went back to receiver. And of course, I led in touchdowns. I made all city.
So you didn't even play a whole game at quarterback?
Not even a whole game.
Damn.
We went on KJLH talking all that smack, because we was on the radios on Fridays. We going crazy. No, I was out, and Huck was back in, and I love.
We had a target. Oh, my dude froze again.
As a quarterback, I'm running that. So I understood it. So it was cool.
That's crazy because I don't remember the score of that game.
28-0.
The San Fernando, we didn't score in San Fernando?
Didn't score at all.
That's crazy.
At the halftime, it was 21-0 at half.
So, and they ran option. They ran an option. They ran an option on because I know I was practicing all week, like kill the pitch man, coming up and kill the pitch man for real. But then we had a week off. The
Yeah,
second week, we had a bye.
we had a bye.
We had a bye, and we all went to Jackie Robinson Stadium. A few of us. I don't know if you went with us.
I did. We went to watch Dorsey play.
We went to go scout the Dorsey Dons.
That
Right.
little boy got his neck broke.
Yeah. Whoever they played that game.
Whoever they
yeah.
played,
Yeah.
the guy, the linebacker, the outside linebacker for Dorsey, broke that guy's neck.
I remember that.
I never knew what happened to him, but let me just tell you what I knew. I said to Huck, "You bet not call 91 look in when we play them." That's what I said. I saw it with my own eyes. I said, "Do not." And what did he do? That's exactly what he did.
Man,
The guy's name was Stunt. I got about 7 yards.
that's crazy because
remember they had somebody named Dr. Death as a free safety.
yeah, I remember because I played. He was at our Pop Warner Pico Union. He played for Pico Union back in the day.
Played
But
with the guy?
we scouted them, and it was like Emmanuel and Dorsey hasn't played in a minute. We was supposed to play Dorsey in the playoffs a couple of years ago, but they lost. They lost to Wilson. We were supposed to play Dorsey at the Coliseum, but Dorsey lost to Wilson, so we ended up playing beating Wilson. But we scouted them, and that was a very emotional game because my whole responsibility, I played wide receiver in and out, but DB was my main position, and I had to scout Sean Foster. He was their number one wide receiver. I was the lockdown. I was like, well, wherever he go, I gotta go. You know what I mean? So, and I played the left. I played the left corner, and and not to toot my horn, I think I did pretty good because they wasn't going to my side. They was always going to Little Sneed's side.
Yeah.
And Brent, you know, because him and Brent switched on and off. They kept switching on and off. But that game, bro, they put it on us in that first half, and there was no coming back. I think at halftime it was like 28-0. And we was in locker room just done.
The reason that I remember it so well because Spence and Hollins walked out on us on the locker room. I never saw that in my life. Mm-hmm. They just walked out on us. They didn't want to talk to us.
Man, we was in there.
They said you quit. They accused us of quitting, and I guess they could see it. But Spence, they changed everything. They put Fred back at nose guard. They put people back in their right places, and they didn't score nothing in the second half.
Yeah, and I got hurt that game. I got hurt like in the third quarter. They ran a screen, and I came up, and all I saw was two linemen. That's what they had. Tommy Jackson, running back.
So they had somebody pulling, and you didn't. Man,
two of them pulled, and
you got to take the first one out, D.
That's what I did, but I messed my neck up. Boom, 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 boom. And I got up. I was like, damn. So I tried to go back in. I was kind of. That's when concussions. We didn't know what concussions was. You know what I mean? We just had a stinger. You know what I mean?
We knew what it was. You going back in? That's what we knew.
We went back. I went back in, but I was.
How many fingers you got? How many fingers you see? That's all they said. He can go,
right. My neck was so toe up, man. And they said, hey, get him out of there because I was done. They put little Mike in my position, but they didn't score in the second half. You know what I mean? And my boy William Williams played on that squad for Dorsey. They had a good squad. You know what I mean? But that was a very interesting year, man. I think we were shortchanged because we didn't have a full. Like I said, we had to play both ways. You know what I mean? We did go to the playoffs.
Man. Yeah, and a couple of those people came back, but it was our first draw was Fairfax. Oh my God!
But we gave Fairfax hell in there at Fairfax.
Yeah, but we lost that
We
game,
lost, but
and
they
Huck
was
was
blowing everybody out. They was blowing
yeah,
everybody
they was
out, but
blowing
we
somehow or another. Huck came out of the game. I came in and ran Alabama pass right, and I hit Huck, and he caught it. He says, "Man, I was wide open." I said to him, "Yeah, that's how wide open I am when we run this. You throw it to Doyle all the time." And
right,
I
right,
ran
right.
that play and threw it to him because really he should be hitting Kearney. Kearney
Ooh.
hits off at the Joseph Kearney,
Mm-hmm.
tight end. He
Mm-hmm.
should be your first hit right there. He's right there on that play. Doyle comes in on a drag, same play you would run if you ran it, because
Yeah, because me
that's the
and Dora
position you
switch.
was at.
Yeah.
Y'all switch. You would hit that three. You dragging across, but the split end runs a curl. It was called a hook slide. Hollis called it a hook slide. You come and do the curl and you slide across. I was open all the time. Huck, not one time did he ever throw it to me. He threw it to me on Alabama pass right, and that's when I would go to the corner and we would score. But I think that what Hollis needed to do was mix some of that stuff up because people was watching us and just we was too predictable.
We was too predictable. And I
We
told
was
you,
just
we
too
talked
predictable.
about this, how we was in a very, we was in a position where teams had advantage on us because as a receiver, we had to be in a 3-point stance. We already defeated right there because they
We
beating us off
defeated.
the
You can't
line. We had to
see.
get up,
Yeah,
can't see.
you have to
Yeah,
get up. Can't
yeah.
see. It was crazy, and he wanted us to come out of
Because
that
Hollis had,
stance, and
yeah, he had that old
that was what
school.
he was used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, God rest
Mm-hmm.
his
But
soul. But I
yeah,
loved
but
him
we
because
had
he taught me how to play football.
yeah. Yes, he did.
Yeah,
He was a real one, man. He was a real one.
he was. Yeah, he
At
was. Him and Spence. Him and Spence, man. You know, Spence. Not enough is said about
talk
Spence.
about it.
Spence would. He would. You know, take us home because everybody didn't have bus passes. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and it's nighttime when we leaving. Everybody piles in Spence's truck, and he's just letting people off, dropping people off on 43rd, Vernon,
Yeah.
51st. Yeah, dropping me off at Floss. He's still going down. Then he go, it's not enough said. They were like father figures to me because he had me in baseball. And if it wasn't for Rodney Spencer, man, I would have not been anything in baseball. He took the time to I never understood what a T-ball workout was. Spence learned all of that for us. He
Mm.
actually took the baseball team when nobody else was going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't going to be
Yeah.
no coach on the baseball team. And I would have never had the opportunity to play for the Houston Astros if it wasn't for Spence.
That's
And I
right.
never would I never would have been a good baseball player if it wasn't for Hollis because I mean some of the playing pro ball, man, I look at some of the plays I made back now, going
Mm-hmm.
over the fence, you know, you going over a fence that's 10, 11 feet, you just go get it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and the dives I made, the throws I made, just another level, man. That it was the is what we learned in the inner city
Yeah.
that got me through.
A lot of
Yeah,
things we learned just by
it was a lot of
watching.
stuff we learned, man. They was just real instrumental for me, man.
Yeah.
So I love both of them. God rest Hollis' soul, though.
Yeah. I asked Spence, and he probably thought I was playing because I played all sports. I didn't play it like I didn't play. I played baseball 1 year at Dinker Park, and I played at Normandy Park, but they wanted me to play catcher because I was kind of big. I was kind of fat or whatever. You know,
Mhm.
I just didn't have the eye coordination for that ball to keep my eye on that ball. I like no, I'm not playing catcher because this ball is gonna kill me every time he swing or he miss or whatever. I'm closing my eyes and I'm getting towed up by this ball, so I couldn't play catcher. But I asked Spence, I was like, man, this was right after football season. I'm like, hey man, I want to play baseball because I knew I just wanted to be in some type of sports activity. I was like, man, let me go on this baseball squad. You know, nah, you can't play baseball. You don't even know. Can I get a shot? You know what I mean? But he never did let me get out there. He thought I was, go ahead, D-Great, get out of here. Get out. Like,
He
man.
thought you was playing. He probably just wanted to hog you up for for football. Wanted you in spring to be ready
But
for
this was
next
after
year.
our year was over. You know what I mean? I wanted to play my. I went out to track, and that lasted for a week, and I only did that for Kendall because Kendall was fast. I was like, oh, Kendall, I'm gonna run track. So he said, okay, I'm gonna join too. So when he got on the track team, I quit. I was like, all right, cool, I'm done. You know what I mean? But tell me this: with being in sports,
Yeah,
going to Budlong, going to
yeah,
John Muir, going to
yeah.
Manual, the elements of the inner city, the gangs, the drugs, the violence, what kept you from crossing over and being involved? Or maybe you was, I don't know, you know what I mean, from
Ye-
those elements.
Nah, D, I got to be honest with you. I was out there doing crazy stuff. You know,
Okay.
I can't say people's name because that would be
No, no, no. Cool, cool.
breaking things. But people in my neighborhood that grew up in the neighborhood, they know what I was
They know.
doing.
They
They
know.
know I was out there with a group. I don't have to say their name, but I was doing stuff, man, and just that part of it was scary about getting caught the stuff that you was doing, but sports really got me out of that. Sports that got me preoccupied
Mm-hmm.
because what you didn't want to do when you played any sport is sit on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I couldn't deal with, man.
Mm-hmm.
So and then most of the people that knew me just knew that I played sports. They were like, man, you don't need to be doing this. You need to be going that other way. So it was kind of like they were looking out for me. I didn't fool. I didn't go in 100%, but I was in enough to tell you that I've done some stuff that I regret.
That's right.
You know,
Okay.
stuff. I'll say it this way: all that stuff is under the blood of Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm glad that that's where it's gonna stay.
That's right.
But nah, I'm not. I'm far from innocent. Uh, I've done some bad things, but you know that's why I say Spence and Hollis. They rescued me, so to speak. And that scout that came out, Doug Deutsch, changed my life forever, man. He came out to Harvard Park. I remember they ran a clip of when me and Daryl Strawberry was out in the outfield because we had a thing at there called the program, and you can get it. It was on the red box or whatever it was, but it was Daryl Strawberry and Eric Davis talking about the program that they built and how all of us when we were back in the city, we would come there and work out and try to learn out what we was going to be facing when we got to spring training and how it was going to be. It's going to be different than anything you ever dealt with. So yeah, the uh, the sports kept me out of it, but I saw a lot of people that we played with. Man, we grew up in the streets with a lot of people that died. Man,
Yeah.
the gangs, the drug
Yeah.
wars. It was crazy.
Do you remember? I know you do. There's two things I want to bring back. Then I want to transition into the pro career after
Okay.
Manual. But after football and all that, the last semester of school, do you remember the the luau where we performed the
Come on,
Temptations, me,
come on,
you,
man.
Huck, and Peanut Butter.
Yeah, yeah, we did.
Who house did we
Oh,
go
come
over to
on.
practice? Was that your house or Huck's
Huck,
house?
we went to Huck's
Huck.
house.
Okay. Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We was we was one short. It
Yeah, we
was
once it
four
was
of us.
four of us.
And
Yeah.
the
So that's most like
Temptations
the Four
had
Tops. Yeah.
four
Pretty much.
tops. Yeah,
Singing the
man.
Temptation
They,
song. You know what I
they're
mean?
singing, yeah, can't get next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We all had our
That was
lines.
so much fun.
You
That was
remember
so
that,
much. And
man?
I don't even know how we came up with that. We had our white suits.
We had the
I don't
white
even know they
suits.
suits. We just had white jackets
No,
and
they
white
was
pants.
yeah, 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 yeah. We was
We was
looking good.
matching though. We was with it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And we performed that uh, at the luau. That was a fun day. That day
You
was so
remember
much
that,
fun.
man? It was lip singing. We lip synced
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we
It was
did.
cold, man. We had our steps.
Yeah,
We
we
was doing
did.
everything,
We was on
and
point.
somebody had that on tape, man. I just wish I could have.
Oh, that's
Oh my
classic.
God, they had it on tape. You look at some of
That's
our
classic.
films, they had clips of that in our yearbook.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
I
that was
have
that was classic.
I
The
have
luau,
few of our
yep.
football games on VHS at my mama house in the garage. And
Is
Hug
that
be like,
right?
D, did you go get the tapes? Did you go get the tapes? I said, man, I ain't been over there, man. I haven't been over there because it's going in my mama garage now, man. It's so old. It's like I don't know what you find in that garage, man. So I'm so scared to go in there to go dig for that stuff,
Yeah.
man. I'm like, if something jump out and try to, whatever, it's gonna be a wrap, I mean, but I got to get that because I have it on
you gotta
VHS of like four.
you gotta get you gotta get transferred.
I do, man. I got like 3 or 4 games. I got 3 or 4 games on that because big what's my dude name that took the tapes?
Ookla.
Ukla used to record it, so
Yeah.
I took the tapes home and I had 2 cassettes. I dubbed it, boo, 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 and I sent it back to him. You know what I mean? And Hollis and
Is
Spence
that
didn't really,
right?
they didn't want to give it up because people used to borrow those tapes and never brought them back. But I brought them back, so I sliced it up and dubbed it and put it on one tape. You know what I mean? So I got to get that, man. I
You
got to
gotta
get
get
that.
it, but you was playing, man. You ended up going to Humboldt, so you ended
Yeah.
up taking your skill level to another level. I mean, it's a lot of people that played football, man, that was really
Mm-hmm.
good, man. So
Mm-hmm.
that was
Yeah. We had a ball, man. Class of '86, bro. Yeah.
class of '80s, the
Uh,
luau. I can't believe you brought that up. We
The
earned the
luau,
luau though. Our,
man.
our it was the luau was because of our grades. We achieved something with grades,
Yeah, we
and
we did
they
something for the
rewarded us
city.
with we
They
did something for the
did.
city. We did
Yeah,
something with
yeah. Our
attendance.
grades.
It was all
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff. It was yeah, that was something else, man. Maylosh
Yeah.
was a good school, man. That purple and gray is gonna be forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember graduating, and we all, like I said, we all transitioned and went our own ways and stuff. But I remember you telling me that, like I said, the scout came through.
Yeah,
Tell us about the transition from high school to professional baseball, bro.
Castellet. So it went from
Oh
from
yeah,
high
yeah,
school to
yeah. Cal State
Castellet.
LA. Okay, talk
So
about
so
that.
what happened? So what happened is that this is so embarrassing, but you just got to say it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take the SAT in high school. I wasn't thinking about college like that.
Right.
I had one team looking at me, UC Davis. This coach, his name was Phil Swimley. I'll never forget his name. He wrote me a letter. I see all this stuff about you in the paper. I really think you can help us win. Have you applied to any colleges? Have you taken the SAT? I was like, what's the SAT? Have I sat somewhere? What's this dude talking about? I'm like, what's going on? And so I never knew the importance of doing that. So I never did that. So, to be honest with you, I just was happy that we made it out alive. I mean,
Yeah.
it was that crazy our junior and senior years, man. So many people was dying. And so when that scout, gave me his paperwork, that senior after we graduated that summer, I told my moms I'm gonna try to go to college because I just didn't want to be sitting at home. So my sister's husband, God rest his soul,
Mm.
he had said you should try to go to LA. You should try to go to Cal State LA. He had saw me play baseball. I knew nothing about Cal State LA, zero.
Mm-hmm.
I got on a bus. Took me 3 buses to get up there.
Mm.
Went and met the coach. Asked him, did he have any positions? Could I come to the school? He said, what position do you play? I told him I play outfield. I didn't know if he. I thought, based on I thought I did good in high school. I thought he would
Yeah.
know me because I was leading everything in high school. I was very, very good publicity in baseball, especially the junior year. So then I get up there, talk to him. He says, well, you might want to try this school. You might want to try that school. So he kind of like just let me go easy, right?
Yeah.
Well, I had no idea him and the scout from the Houston Astros was tight,
Oh.
real tight. They
Okay.
was real tight. So he runs into the scout from the Astros
Mm-hmm.
and is telling him the story. Guess what happened? This
Hmm.
kid from this school in the inner city, Manual Arts High, came up here and asked me, did I have a spot? Can you believe that? Yada yada yada. And and the scout said, well, let me ask you a question. What did he look like? So he describes me, tells him my name, and the scout says, whatever you do, you better try to get him in your school.
Right. Right.
And so the coach, Coach John Herbal, God rest his soul, he calls me up, asks me would I be, he says, do you know a guy named Doug Deutsch? I said, yeah, he's a guy for the Houston Astros. He was uh came to see me play, my senior year as well as my junior year. Yeah, I ran into him. He said some really nice things about you. I'd like to know if you're interested in just playing, coming up. Let me see you play a game. I said, okay. So when is the game? He says, it's this Friday, and it's at 7:30. I was like, 7:30 in the morning. He says, get out there. We turn the lights on. So now I'm figuring out, oh, it's a night game.
Mm.
I ain't never played a night game in my life.
Right. Right. Right.
So I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, no problem. I get on the bus with my Manual Arts uniform. I'm proud, have my uniform on. Get on the 40. Go, first, no, I got on the 20. What is it? 206 going down Vermont or 208?
That
Got on
was
the
the
206. I
206,
think
I
it's the
think.
206. And then I cut over to the 40,
Mm-hmm.
which ended up being the 42 later on.
Yeah.
And then I caught a bus downtown, like the 50 something, and it took me to Cal City LA. It took me 3 buses to get there. And that dude was like, do you always show up to the game this late?
Wow.
And I didn't say nothing to him. I was just like, you know, so Doug was there. The scout from the Astros was there. And he had me go and take infield, outfield, saw my arm. I I got caught stealing and I hit a bullet up the middle, but it was just on Doug's strength that he was recruiting me,
Mm-hmm.
that he asked me, had I gone to any colleges and committed. And I said, nah, I want to go to college. That's why I came up here. He says, well, if I can get you in here, will you come? And I say, yeah, but I don't have money. I mean, we're on
Right.
welfare.
Right.
He said,
Right.
well, you can apply for financial aid.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. So I started going through the whole process. He helped me through the whole process. But here's the problem. It came down to the real deal, bro. They said he can't come because he's never taken the SAT or the
SAT.
ACT.
Yeah.
You got to take one of them. So the coach came up to me and said, look, you missed the deadline for the SAT, but they're giving the ACT in 3 weeks. You're going to have to take it if you want to come. I said, oh, no problem. I'll take it. He said, yeah. Now, if I remember, DeMarcus, I think you had to score like a 36 on it or something like that.
I don't
That's the
know.
highest you can get
I
on
don't
it.
know what
He
you
told
had to score,
he
but
what
I
well
know
he
those
that's the
tests was
but
hard.
he said the 36 was the highest. He said you need to get at least a 19 to 20 to get in there. I was like, oh, that ain't that. I can do
Hmm.
that.
Okay.
Something like that. It was something crazy
Yeah.
like that, right? Or maybe I was supposed. I'm sorry. Maybe I was supposed to get a. I'm sorry. 22 or 23. I was supposed to get,
Okay.
and then you could get in. I called Regina, talked to Regina about it.
Mm.
I'm trying to get advice because Regina was smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just said, okay, I go down there. I take the test on the Saturday. The results come back a week later. I scored like a 17 or something like that,
Right.
16, 17. And so the coach asked me what was my major in high school. I told him journalism. I had Mr. Bakir.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to the journalism department, talked to the guy, and the guy wrote a letter to the dean, the school, and said he thought that it would be a travesty if I couldn't get in there just because I didn't know to take the test. They let me in without taking the SAT or the ACT,
Wow.
and that's how I got into college. So
Won't he
I
do
went
it?
there for, man, won't he do it, huh? I was out there, but I went there for 4 years. I had a good freshman year,
Mm-hmm.
sophomore year. I moved on campus, and that was it was I was wilding out. I was drinking, smoking
Yeah.
weed, acting a fool. Got into a fight, got suspended for my junior year.
Mm.
Went to jail down there because I got into a fight with a fraternity.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man. And the scout for the Astros was just so disappointed in me.
Mm-hmm.
So my junior year, because I got into that fight with that fraternity, they suspended me, and I was projected to get drafted that year. And I cost myself like 80 grand that year. I'll never forget it. It was bad, man.
Mm.
So I came back my senior year. The scout stuck with me, and then I signed to play with the Astros. And on the night that I signed, me, Huck, and his little brother Derek, God rest his soul, his cousin Fred, we called him Pooh. We went out to celebrate, and man, I got into a fight.
Mm.
We got into a fight, nearly killed these guys. It was bad, and we was at my campus, and they only knew my name, and they came after me. They found out that I was under contract with the Astros. They didn't care. They called the Astrodome. They were asking, "Do you have attorneys?" I'm fighting this case, and I'm flying back and forth, state to state, fighting this case.
Mm.
I'm facing 4 felony counts, uh, 2 assault with deadly weapons, 3 felony batteries. I come back. The people wouldn't, agree to no deal. The judge offered me a deal, but that deal meant I was gonna miss my first year of baseball. I said, I ain't taking no deal if I'm gonna miss baseball.
Right.
So I said, we're gonna go to trial.
Mm-hmm.
I took it to trial and lost.
Mm.
I was found guilty on 3 felonies. Um, the Astros stayed in my corner, but they were disappointed.
Right.
Um, I ended up going to Chino Prison. They
Mm.
sent me up to Chino Prison. I still had my mail coming in from the Astros. The same judge that sentenced Suge Knight sentenced me.
Mm.
And this was before Suge Knight went to prison.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So I was facing, those it was actually 28 years I was facing. And they
Wow.
found me they found me guilty on 3 of them, so it was 21 years with a special circumstance. And I came back. Uh, the Lord started dealing with me in prison. Um, I came down. The courtroom was full. The Astros was there. My coach from college was there. My mother, father, everybody was there. And the judge gave me what was called a suspended sentence. He said, I'm mandated by the state of California to give you 5 years at a minimum. He said, I got no options. He says, unless I find special circumstances. And he says, I think that you've done more than enough. You've learned more than I ever thought you would learn.
Mm-hmm.
Because he let me speak for myself, and I told
Mm-hmm.
him, I said, in there, I was pointing to behind the doors. I said, in there is another world. They tell me when I can eat. They tell me when I can go to the bathroom. They tell me when I can take a shower. They tell me if I can go out in the yard. I said, you said I took for granted that I was a professional athlete. I said, I beg to differ with you. I said, Your Honor, I took for granted my freedom. That's what I took for granted because I have a little daughter. I haven't seen her. And it was just crazy, man. So he gave me the 5 years, but he suspended 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, You're going to have to finish that year out. And so I stayed in prison for another 5, 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I got out, got back in shape, reported back to spring training, and I was doing well. I thought I was doing well. My last at bat was a grand slam,
Oh wow.
and then the Astros gave me my unconditional release. They released me,
Okay.
and the guy
Okay.
that signed me to the Astros, he had moved over to the Kansas City Royals. When he found out I got released, he was trying to get me hooked up with them. But I came home, D, and on Mother's Day, so I got released in April of '92,
Okay.
and my mother was diagnosed with cancer
Mm.
like 3 weeks later, and 5 months later she died. So I
Mm.
counted a blessing because if I would have been playing baseball, I wouldn't have been here. I
Mm-hmm.
was able to bond with her, and
Yeah.
prior to my mother dying, she got saved. I was
Okay.
just that gave me so much comfort. But from that point on, I never looked at baseball the same. I never tried to go back
Yeah. Yeah.
full fledged. I tried out with the Florida Marlins, and I thought I did well, but they never called me back. And I just was like, I got a daughter. I gotta be in her life. That I was like, baseball's over. I'm in love with church,
Mm-hmm.
and I just wanted to be the best father I could be. So I ended up, uh, going into the industry that I'm in now. So
That's
it
what's
was
up.
professional baseball was great, man. Got to play with some guys and meet some people that a lot of people, you know, would be in awe of. But
Yeah.
I played with these guys.
You-
So I took
Yeah.
some of
You
the
was
church
around some
members.
heavy hitters back in the day.
Yeah, man, I was with the heavy hitters. I went around. I took some of the church members one time to a Dodger game, and the Astros just sent me a lot of tickets. One of my boys that was playing there, and when they saw me come, I mean, I felt like crying
Mm.
when they saw me. They climbed over, the dugout.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You- you- they climbed over and got on the dugout, and we was all hugging. It was crazy. I know people were saying, "Who is he?"
Right.
Because
Right. Right. Right.
my boys from that I played with, they had made it all the way up to the major leagues, and so Brian Hunter, who was a guy named Mike Sims, James Moton, Luis Gonzalez was up in the major leagues at that time. So I was just like, I played with these guys in the minor leagues. I mean, okay, but it was crazy, man. It was just it was a blessing to be able to play the brief time that I played, but you know, I would have never been able to play none of that if it wasn't for Spence and Hollis. Never.
Man. Shout out to
Wouldn't have
Spencer
never been able
Hollis,
to do that.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Man.
sir.
I want to.
I never would have met you. I never would have met you. I
Man,
never would
that's
have.
real talk. That's real
That's
talk.
real, man. That's real.
And thanks for sharing that story, man. For real, it helps
Yep.
me understand your path. I think we had talked about this years ago, but it's always refreshing to hear that. And like I said, when
Yeah.
I saw you in church and stuff, and your walk right now, it just makes me feel good, man. That we still connected all these years. You know what I mean?
For
I don't know
life.
I don't know how much time I have on this timer.
Okay.
But in the brief, and I could talk to you for hours, bro, for real.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
family, man.
Yeah.
Share your family with us, man. Your daughters, your wife.
Yeah.
Uh, you know,
Yeah. My wife, man. I met my
just talk
wife.
about that, man.
My wife's name is Pamela, and I met Pam in the best place you can meet somebody. I met her in church.
Hmm.
I was eyeballing Pam. She was in the choir, and at that time I was at a sister church and going to the church, and I met her. And like I said, in college, my youngest daughter was born, of course, out of wedlock, but
Yeah,
I always wanted to be in her life. So I got caught up in the court system and fought to be in her life. I was one of the few that went there, stood up, said, "No, that's my daughter. No,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna pay child support. I'm gonna do all of that." So I had the distinct experience of being a single father, trying to raise my daughter in a shared custody relationship with someone. It was difficult, but church made it so easy because you just looking at seeing how blessed you are. You see all the the calamities you've escaped and
Mm-hmm.
all of the the near death experiences that could have befallen on you. And so meeting Pam, marrying her, my two daughters right now that are still in, so to speak, in the house. So my youngest is in North Carolina.
That's right.
She goes to a private Christian school called Catawba. She's an incredible volleyball player. She was killing it at her. They won the CIF at the uh, Cerritos Valley Christian.
Mm-hmm.
They won that in her junior year, and then of course they really couldn't play because of COVID. But she ended up getting a scholarship to Cyprus. She was ranked in California, and then she ended up getting a scholarship to go out into North Carolina, and she's out there now. She had a couple of concussions, and it scared me because of the
Mm.
concussion thing. So she had a concussion her sophomore year and her junior year. So
Wow.
I'm real concerned about that. But she's a fierce competitor.
Mm-hmm.
She reminds me of me competing. My middle daughter, she Haley. So my youngest daughter is Rachel. My middle
Mm-hmm.
daughter is Haley. My oldest daughter is Kayla.
Okay.
And Haley just graduated from Dominguez,
That's right.
and she tried to play volleyball up there, but whatever it is, they didn't give her opportunity. So she ran track. She shocked us and ran track. Got a little scholarship to run track
Okay.
during the pandemic, and so my children, my wife, I'm in a house of all women, and
Yeah.
so
Same
so
here.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. So it's been a blessing to see them grow up and be in their lives from the onset. That's something that I didn't get with my oldest because it was a shared process. But with Rachel and Haley, man, it's just been from the crib to college. I've been here, been able to provide for them, having a career in real estate and in insurance, financial services, and doing all
Mm-hmm.
of that. And like I said, recently we acquired the ice cream store, the franchise called Handles, and we own that
Yeah.
store in the Culver City. And I went into business with three of my brothers from church that I've known for decades. So I'm real happy about that.
That's good.
Um, but the family means everything, D. Like you said, we could talk forever, but just
Yeah. Yeah.
in as brief as I can tell you, without my family, I would have no motivation. It's been God, my family, my business, the church, all of that. That's what's kept me where I'm at right now. I consider myself so blessed to be somebody. I have no college debt. I put all my kids through private school. I've been able to provide for them because God has provided for me. And
Mm.
so, you know, being somebody, I don't drink no more. I don't cuss. I don't do nothing. I'm far from perfect,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I'm striving to be like Jesus on a daily.
That's what's up.
So been in the ministry for over 30 years.
That's what's up.
So
How
it's been
long
great.
you and your wife been married?
This year, my friend, 25 years. I got to go somewhere, Demarcus.
Yeah.
D, I got to go somewhere. 25 years, baby. A quarter of a
Yeah.
century.
Yeah.
Quarter of a century with two beautiful girls.
That's right. This make our 29 years.
Oh man, you going on
Yeah.
30. Look at you, man.
Yeah, going on 30.
Thank you,
I
Jesus.
wanna I wanna thank you. First of all, thank you for sharing with this
Oh,
interview.
absolutely.
Because we could
Absolutely.
talk forever.
Yep.
But I also want to thank you because you helped me and my family out in 2007 when we
Okay.
moved to Texas,
Yep.
and you helped us with the questions and the tests of
Yep.
trying to be a homeowner, the things we needed to
Yep.
do. We was calling, texting.
Yep.
You was prepping me for all this stuff, man. And once
Yep.
again, I'm gonna give you flowers, man. I thank you for that because it
Yes,
helped
sir.
us
Love
out. It helped us
it.
out, bro. I mean, we didn't keep the house that long, but you
That's
helped
all
us.
right. As long as you got it, right?
we we had got it, man. We was there for a year, and that's when 2007, 2008, everything was crazy with the real estate
Real
thing,
estate
and
market,
it was our
it
first
crashed in
time, and
2008. Yeah.
I think we was a victim of just a whole lot of stuff back in those times, and we learned
Yeah.
from that, man. But without you, we would even got closer being in the situation we were. So thank you for that once again, my brother. For
Oh
real, for
man,
real,
much
for real.
love, man. Much love.
Yeah, yeah,
Much love. We got it. We got to do something for Coach Spence. And
yeah. We
man, if
keep
there's
talking
any,
about it.
yeah, if there's any way we could do something where we can get our, I don't know about the reunions and all of that, but man, we got to do something because, as my pastor would say, we got more years behind us than in front of
Yeah.
us.
I was
So
on Facebook last week, and I put it out there that I want to have a all class reunion. And Shadiel was on there. Rep your school. There's two things with that, man, because living in LA and you try to have something like that at a park. See, like if we had something for Spence, that's just us, our
yeah,
own crew, our own little family. But when you
yeah,
have something that I want to have like a big gathering of Washington, Jordan, Dorsey, Crenshaw, and all these people coming to a spot when you mixing drinking and smoking, it gets kind of out of hand, and I don't want to be responsible for anything. You know what I mean? So I thought about that after I had put it out there. I said, let me think about this. You talk. It sounds good, but in reality,
yeah,
it,
man,
it, it can be
it can go south.
something. It can go
It it,
south,
it,
man.
it, it can go
But now,
south.
if I have a venue where
Okay.
everybody's suited and booted, dressed to impress, that's a whole different twist. Where you got security and you come in there, everybody's looking real nice, and we just enjoying each other's company, looking
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, but we gonna do something for Coach Spence, man. You know, we want to give him his flowers, big time, man, for real, for real.
Yeah,
But
man.
man, I
I want to say
thank you.
thanks, D. I want to say thanks for having me come, man, and I really appreciate the format. I do anything to support you, no matter what. But I just think it's commendable what you're trying to do. Just being able to talk to us about a time in our lives that was so important, man. We were young men growing up, and the friendship for me has been consistent with you. We
Mm,
always reach out on this holiday, that holiday, so whatever I can do to help you in anything, we had that saying, single numbers line up in the back.
yeah, single
I'm
numbers
I'm a,
line
I'm singles
to the
line up in the,
back.
I'm a line up in the front for you. Whatever we got, whatever you doing, I'm supporting that. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
man.
supporting number 9.
It's funny because I barely got that number. It was almost the last number that left. I was like, I rock with number 9. I want to shout out to my boy, man, H Rap B. He stepped in, and my cousin, Mama Dog, and I
Shout
learned
out to
this.
you.
I learned this format from him because he does his podcast, Into the Bench. You know, he does a lot of things, and I picked this up from him because he interviewed his family, people in the community, hip hop artists, just people, man. So I kind of learned from him, watching him how he grew his content, his programming, and I'm under his umbrella when it comes to something like this. So I learned from him. So shout out to my boy Brian D. Williams, man, H Rap B, man, for real. That's my boy. He from
Shout
Chicago.
out to you, Brian,
From
up in
Chicago.
Chi-Town.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, man, I know we've been here for 2 hours, and man, I'm gonna let you get
Yep.
back to your family and to your wife. Thank you
Yep.
once again, my brother, man, for real. And
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
try to do some more of these. I wanna I saw Marcus Carter. Me and Marcus we lived in the same neighborhood. He was on that squad, that
Okay.
86 squad. I want to get
Yeah,
him
he
on here.
was. Yep.
He always say we need to come and hook up together. You know what I mean? Maybe I can get Huck on here one day.
That would be good.
You know, Huck uncle is the manager of where we stay up over here. So
Is that right?
yeah, his uncle Everett Huckabee. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so when I moved over here, I was like, he said his name was Huckabee. I said, you gotta, are you related to Eric? He's like, yeah, that's my nephew. I was like, oh wow.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
Small
yeah,
world
yeah.
once again, man. Small world.
I
You
got to
know,
get all y'all to come out to the shop, man. I done lost 20
I
pounds,
am.
so
Since I know
yeah,
if you buy the Johnny Pastrami's, I will.
yeah,
I'll hit you up. Say, hey man, I'm slide through just to support. You feel me?
yeah,
And
yeah,
and I'm gonna do that, man. I'm gonna do that, man.
yeah.
Thanks for
I just
sharing,
want to see
man.
everybody. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Thanks for
just great,
sharing, man. For real.
great hitting it up with you, man. I just really appreciate it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
hopefully, tell me how to support. So when you got somebody on here, I want to be able to come on and look.
yeah. And
Want to be able to comment all that.
you know who I also learned this from? Dante,
Okay, I remember Dante.
little Dante, running back
Little
Dante,
Dante. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
aka Akil the MC, part of the Jurassic 5. You know what I mean? That's crazy. How did you know he was? He was a hip hop artist.
No, I didn't know that.
He's part of the Jurassic 5, man. I mean, that's crazy how I didn't know that till we got older. But Dante, man, he does interviews too. He was interviewing some people from the hood, so I picked that up from him too. I said, man, I'm getting give our brothers their flowers, man, for real. So yeah, he want to interview me too. So
Go do it.
yeah, so we gonna hook up. You gonna get to see the other side. I kind of shared my little stories with you. You never knew I was trying to go to Fairfax instead of Manual, huh?
Wait a minute, man. I never knew you came just like that's how Glenn came to
Glenn,
us.
yeah,
Yeah, so
Glenn Colford, yeah,
Glenn Cofer, he couldn't. His school didn't have no football team,
right.
but here it is. You was trying to go. You trying to go to L.A.,
I
man.
tried to
Come
go to
on, D.
Dorsey. I tried to go to
Oh
Fairfax.
man,
I tried to go to L.A.
You tried to go everywhere but us.
And you know what? I to this very I regret not sticking out being quarterback for our squad because I think I would. I'm not saying I would have been a better quarterback. All I know, if you wasn't open, I was just gonna take off running. You know what I mean? That's what all LA quarterbacks did anyway. Darren Hagan, Jamel Holloway, I would have been one of those type of dudes. I would have just took off running, man, for real. So,
Oh
but
man, so you
it
wouldn't.
worked
So
out the way it worked out.
I wouldn't have led the team in touchdowns. You wouldn't have thrown it to me, huh?
Right? Yeah, y'all would have been mad at
But I
me.
was open. But I
Y'all
was
probably took me
open.
in the locker room.
I don't
Y'all
know. I
probably
was
took me in the
open.
locker room and gave me a beat down. You know what I mean? For
Nah, nah.
real.
But Huck found me. I was open. Nah. We made it happen.
Well, we
We
did. We
had
had fun.
we had a good squad, man. We had a good
We did.
squad.
We did. We did. If we would have
Much
had
love, man.
one more year, well, we would have
No,
won it
just
all.
a
You
few
know what I
people.
mean?
No, just a few people eligible. It's not
Yeah,
over
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Just a few people eligible. We would have been cool.
It would have been
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
man.
It was
Shoot,
something. It was something though, but it made us.
man. Thank you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother John Gonzales. I call him number 2.
Number two. Number
And I
nine.
call him number 2 because he had the number 2 on his jersey, man.
Yep.
Appreciate you, brother, man. I love
All
you, and
right,
we'll be
man.
talking real soon, man. But
Much
go get
love,
some
man.
rest.
Thanks,
Yes,
D.
sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. All right. Yeah. That's my boy John Gonzales, man. Yeah. It's your boy DGratest from South Central, man. Gu'dio Radio, Gu'dio Conversations, man. We had some technical difficulties. The Wi-Fi was tripping either on my end or his end, but we made it. We made it through. We made it through, man. We made it through. My first interview on this format, man, and it's cool. Giving flowers to your brothers, man, for real, man. Hey, you got to do it. You got to do it, man. You got to do it. I'm probably not the best interviewer with this stupid cough I got, but I I made it happen, man. Shout out to my cousin. What's up, Sheila? I see you, baby girl. Got to get you on here. Got to get you on here, man. Part of the Gu'dio crew, you know what I mean? Hey, I'm out of here, man. I need to get some rest. Rest his voice. Go ahead and spend some time with the family. Hey, love somebody, pray for somebody, forgive somebody. Continue to follow the fine programming. To fine programming these podcasting streets. Learn something. Tune in to my boy H-Rap B tomorrow. He said, change your name to DG Rap. And you learn something tomorrow. H-Rap always putting it down with some great information for the community and for you. You know what I mean? For real. Hey, y'all have a blessed night. Once again, love somebody, pray for somebody, and forgive somebody. I'm your boy DGratestFromSouthCentral, and I'm out of here, man. Peace out. Love y'all. Yeah.